What's going on? Hello, YouTube. Oh, God. Okay. Hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to the channel. I'm Tyler. This is Havoc Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about my PC budget build. Okay, guys, what's up? So if you look behind me here, I got a couple boxes. These are all the boxes from my specific PC that I've built. It's my first PC. It's a budget PC, and that's going to be the emphasis of today's video. It is a budget PC. The numbers are going to seem kind of high. I mean, it is a specific budget. Now, mine came in at just under $2,000 for the entire thing. I do want to clarify with you guys, just so that you guys know, this is in Canadian dollars. It won't be US dollars. I notice a lot of people don't say that in other videos. People building PCs, people doing budget PCs. You know, there might be somebody that say, hey, like my budget's 800 bucks. Here's a PC. It might be the exact same thing that I have, but because they were in the US, the dollar sucks for us up here, so everything's more expensive for us. So again, I just want to emphasize that this will all be in Canadian dollars for the parts that I will explain to you guys. So if you guys are looking to build something like this or similar to this or this specific one, just keep that in mind that in Canadian, it's going to be about $2,000, and I believe in the US dollar as it currently sits, it's going to be about 1,500 bucks. It's a little bit up there on the higher end of a budget, but worth it. Okay guys, so with that, let's start talking about some parts here. Okay, so first I wanted to talk about what I use the PC for. What I started to do with the PC was just play games. I was playing anything from low demand to high demand to high FPS, low FPS. It's handled everything really well. But lately I started to get into the YouTube videos, and I'm starting to stream, so if you guys are looking to do something like that, I recommend this, or something like this. Now that I've kind of explained kind of what I use the PC for, we'll start getting into all the parts. So I want to talk about the housing first. We will get into all these boxes here after. I don't have the box for it. It's pretty big. Everything's been unpacked. Obviously, I've been using the computer for a couple months, but the case that I'm using here is the Cooler Master NR600. The case alone, now this case was a bundle case. It was cheaper to do it this way. If you were to get all the parts separately, it was cheaper to do it this way. So I got it as a bundle. So the Cooler Master NR600 is the case. Ample room in it, more room for anything else if I want to put it in there. You know, it's got lots of airflow. They've got a mesh design on the front, and I will show you guys the case at the end of the video. I will show you the setup, the whole setup here. You'll see the mesh on the front with the fans and everything like that. The fans are interchangeable wherever you guys want to put them. I'm pleased with it. It's got the glass side on the, I guess it would be the left side. It's matte black. I like it. It gets the job done. I don't need anything else that's too crazy. As long as it holds all my parts, keeps them safe, and I can see my parts in there. I do want to mention, I do like the RGB. I didn't think I would, but I do. So again, the case itself is 85 bucks retail. The bundle that I got cost 300, but that came with the case, the cooler, comes with the fans and a radiator as the cooler. It also came with the power supply. All of that, and I will talk about all of them individually. All that came in the bundle for 300 bucks. So again, the case itself is 85 bucks. Now we'll talk about the power supply. It's the Cooler Master MWE 650 watt. 650 has been enough for me. I think if I was to do anything more, you know, maybe get a even better GPU than what I have, or start adding lights and all this other kind of stuff, I think then I would maybe look at getting a 750 watt, but for this purpose, it's exactly what I need. Have had no issues. The power supply itself costs 80 bucks, and then it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 fans. They all are ARGB. They have a 3-pack that they charge 75 bucks for. So I got double the lights, fans, sorry, not lights, for in the bundle pack of 300. You know, they have the 3-pack, like I mentioned, as individual sales. So, and that's 75 bucks. So if you wanted the 6 integrated, it would be 150. The other part is the radiator that came with it. I do not have the radiator installed. I didn't think I needed it. The CPU that I'll get into after has its own fan. It's doing an ample job keeping it regulated. If I start to run into problems with heat, I might look at putting the cooler on top of that CPU and taking that fan off. Maybe even add, because I only have 4 of the fans that came with the cooler. I might even put two of the fans inside the case because there's still the room for it. So again, I will show you the whole setup. I'll show you the tower. I'll show you the lights and the whole works and everything at the end of the video. Now that we've talked about the housing and the case, we're going to talk about the good stuff back here. So let's go ahead and jump right into that stuff. Okay guys, so here we have the AMD Ryzen 7, sorry, my hand was blocking it. It's the 4.4 gigahertz processor. This is the guy that powers everything. This costs 400 bucks. I did spend a little bit more on the CPU, but it's worth it. You don't really want to have all this other fancy stuff if your CPU can't handle it. The AMD Ryzen 5 probably would have been enough. At the time of purchasing and building this guy, they didn't have any in stock where I was getting my parts from, and I kind of needed the CPU to start up what I was doing, so I went ahead and got the Ryzen 7. It's been awesome. It's also RGB. I've had no issues with CPU performance out of it. It's more than enough. It's way more than enough to do what I'm doing. Again, it was 400 bucks, so spend a little bit more on this end of it, but you want to spend more on this guy and your GPU, just because everything else works off of those. So if you don't have a good CPU or a good GPU, you're gonna run into problems with speed and performance and stuff like that. So Ryzen 7 3700X 4.4 gigahertz, 400 bucks at the time. You can probably find them on sale now that some of the new processors and stuff like that, they might be coming out soon. So go ahead, check this guy out if you're looking to do something like this. Okay guys, so next we're going to talk about the RAM. I've got 2 G-Skill Ripjaws DDR4s, 3200 8 gig 2-pack. So I got 16 gigs of RAM. If you have a little bit of wiggle room, maybe get 32 gigs or something. The 16's been fine. Like I've had no issues with it, but it just kind of covers you down the road. That's all. These guys have been fine. I've had no issues with them. These guys went for 100 bucks at the time. They're not overly the most expensive part of your build. They're probably only 5 or 10% of what it's actually going to cost. But do your research. If you want the RGB, these guys are not RGB. If you want RGB, you'll have to look at some other options and stuff like that, but you do pay for the lights. So if you're trying to stay within that budget, maybe just stick around and stay away from the RGB stuff until you can afford it. But if you're gonna do that and go from 16 to an RGB system, maybe just jump into the 32 gigs. It'll save you a little bit of work down the road, and you won't have to really worry about any memory issues. Again, I have the 16. I've had no issues with memory loss out of the PC, so I've got no complaints. Okay guys, so next I'm going to talk about memory, storage memory. This little guy here, the Samsung N70 Evo Plus. Wow, I've got the 500 gig. I wish I had it in the budget to get the 1 terabyte or even more. You're always going to be fighting yourself on trying to find storage for games, for media, for documents, anything. It's always going to be an uphill battle for this stuff. I do have 3 types of hard drives on this PC. This guy alone costs $150. I do also have the ADATA 256 SSD. I got it a couple of years ago, so I don't quite remember the price. No complaints. I pretty much use this for games and stuff like that, to load my games and stuff like that. So with the small storage, I'm always deleting stuff, but not a huge deal. I just wish I had more. If I had to do it all again, I would probably spend some extra money, get 1 terabyte, or even two of these M.2s. Even get 2 of 500 gigs. Use one for your local C drive for all your programs and stuff, and one of them for your games. 100% worth it. Again, I have no issues with The storage itself, the M.2 has been awesome. The SSD, like I said, I just wish was bigger, and the hard disk drive I just have there strictly for media purposes, documents, photos, that kind of stuff. I do also use from time to time, I have an external hard drive that I use for just whatever overflow out of the hard disk drive. I have some of the lower end games, low FPS games and that kind of stuff coming off of the hard disk drive, just because I'm not overly concerned about them. One game that I'm currently doing right now is Assassin's Creed as we wait for Valhalla to come out. I'm doing Odyssey over, so that one I have loaded to the SSD, which unfortunately once I'm done it'll be deleted and stuff. But some lower end games and low demand games I have on my hard disk drive, just because I don't really need them on the SSD or in my M.2 to run. They don't need it, and again, with being a lower end game, I don't need them to run quick. So again, those are the three hard drives that I have, and again, 150 bucks for this guy. Okay guys, moving on, we have the GPU. Here we have the Gigabyte GeForce GTX. It is the 1660 Super Overclocked Edition. It comes with 6 gigs of memory, IPCE attachments. With the GPU, it came after. It was a purchase recently. When I built the PC at first, I should have done more research, and I didn't realize that the CPU was a graphics-less output GPU, or CPU, sorry. So my buddy, fortunately for me, he let me borrow this guy. Here is the Asus, and it's old, Asus 7700 series, I believe it is. 7750 series. Wow, this thing is slow. I used it for the first few months of having my PC. It worked for what I needed it for, but you know, as I got more familiar with everything and started streaming and playing higher demand games and stuff, that thing would not keep up. Got myself the GeForce GTX 1660 here. This guy costs 340 bucks. Worth it. It's totally revamped the entire PC. Playing games that I couldn't even touch before. You know, it's reduced a lot of stuff. I think I did one game on the old GPU and it was running at like 11 frames per second. Ran the same game with this guy here. Was topping out at 60 frames per second. No problem whatsoever. This guy I've had no problem with. If I had more budget now, I probably wouldn't have been doing the video and calling it a budget PC, but I would have got the new RTX 2070, just because it'll save me down the road having to upgrade again. This guy, like I said, it's still going to be around for a couple years yet. The 2070X, or even just a regular 2070, would have been probably a little overkill even, but it would have been further down the road, better for new CPUs and new stuff like that. So again, we got the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1660 Super Overclocked Edition. Hey guys, moving on again here, we got the Asus TUF Gaming X570 Plus Wi-Fi. It's my motherboard. It's got everything hooked up to it. I mean, I don't know too much about the motherboards and stuff, but I've had no issues with it. This guy was $245 is what it costed. Again, I don't know too much about the motherboards, but it's been working really well for what I've set up here. So everything pretty much clicks in, and away you go. So again, Asus TUF Gaming X570 Plus. Okay guys, so that does it for the hardware. I'm also going to talk about some of the accessories that I have. If you notice behind me, we're still working on some of the boxes. These are Amazon products. I think the speakers are Logitech, but other than that, they're pretty no-name stuff. But they have worked really well for what I've been doing. So let's jump into the accessory stuff. Okay, so here we have first our microphone. That's this guy right here. Takes a little bit of tweaking, especially if you don't know audio, any of that kind of stuff. But for what I've been using it for, it's been totally fine. You'll have to let me know down in the comments below, how do I sound? This will be the first video of the channel, so let me know how I sound in the comment section below. If you guys have any tips or anything for audio. And also, when I'm streaming, check me out on Twitch, and hopefully this guy isn't too loud or anything like that for you. But anyways, this is the Zac Sound condenser microphone. It's a USB plug-in, but it also has the auxiliary jack for it. I have it plugged in through USB. I just find that it works better. It's quicker like that because of the PC running with the USB 3.0s as opposed to the 2.0s or the auxiliary jack, the 3.5 mil. I've had no problems with it. I think it's great. The thing cost 26 bucks, so I can't complain, especially doing the budget PC. So if you guys are looking for a mic, definitely check out this guy. Hey guys, moving on to the sound here. We have the Logitech Z150s. They are the 2.0. They are 6-watt speakers. I've had no problem, but mind you, I use my headphones lots. I typically only use these guys if it's during the day, you know, where I don't have to be as quiet with the sound and that kind of stuff. But I've had no problems with them. They get the job done. And these guys, at the time of my purchase, they were 25 bucks. I double checked yesterday because when I was doing my notes and stuff for this video to let you know about the pricing, they're up to 57 bucks or 58 bucks now on Amazon. So I think I got a pretty good deal on them. So again, here you go. These are the speakers. These are the Logitech Z150s, 6-watt, 2-inch speakers. Okay, so here we got our keyboard. It is the Red Dragon keyboard and mouse combo. It's RGB. I've had no problems. It's not mechanical, but it feels like it's mechanical. I've tried other keyboards and stuff like that, which are mechanical keyboards, and this feels just like a mechanical keyboard for not even being one. So I gotta give them props for that. So because it's a combo set, it does come with the mouse here. The mouse also lights up, and if you really wanted to, you can download some software from Red Dragon that will allow you to custom preset hotkeys and that kind of stuff, and set up lighting and breathing of the lights on the keyboard. So this thing cost me 40 bucks at the time. I think they're up to 60 bucks or so now on Amazon, but again, for a budget PC, cannot complain. Okay, so that does it for the boxes. I do have two other things that I want to talk about on the accessory end of this budget build. Most people today have some type of console, whether it be PlayStation or Xbox or the win. These guys are what I use. These are my Xbox One headphones. For being a budget PC and being on a budget, I didn't see the need to buy more headphones or another set of headphones. I have these guys. They work wonderful. I've used them for years on the Xbox, so I've had no issues with them. They work excellent on the computer. Now I do have another set of headphones that I sometimes use, and those are the Skull Candies. They're wireless. I think Crusher is the specific model of them. They're wireless. They work well. The only problem is you just have to keep charging them. Unless you have them plugged in, I guess. But the only reason I use these guys is the earmuff part is much bigger than the earmuff on the Skull Candy. So I prefer to use these guys. So, you know, I've had the Xbox One for a couple of years, so this thing, we'll call it free with the Xbox. So I don't have a price for them, but I think you can buy them in store for, you know, 30 or 40 bucks as opposed to buying gaming headset. Unless you want all the lights and that kind of stuff, you know, being upwards of 100 bucks for those. The last accessory that I have is what you guys are watching through right now. That is a webcam that I got from Amazon. Unfortunately, during a pandemic, where everyone needs webcams, the price has skyrocketed for a camera. I think at the time of recording right now, a Logitech C920 that would typically go for probably under 100 bucks, under even 80 bucks. There are upwards of 120, 150, 170 dollars, just because they're in such high demand for everyone being at home and working from home. Okay guys, I lied. While I was editing the video, I figured I would double check on Amazon to see the actual pricing of the Logitech C920s. Here you can see the C920 HD. They're selling for $286 and $282. There's another 922 here selling for $281, and another Logitech shipping from wherever for $329. Again, just with the pandemic, it's been crazy trying to find a budget webcam. If you have one already, consider yourselves lucky, because these things are selling like hotcakes. On that note, I'd also like to say that I hope everyone is out there staying safe. Keep washing and scrubbing your hands and all that kind of stuff. I got the webcam. It's a 1080p. It shoots in 30 frames per second. So that's the downside to it. I do have the video cropped, so you guys aren't quite seeing exactly what the full range of the camera is. It does distort a little bit on the sides, which I don't care for, but I think it cost me, yeah, it was 80 bucks. So I mean, even this thing, like being a cheap knockoff camera, still 80 bucks right now, just because, again, it's in such high demand. I don't use the audio. I use this guy here. I find that it works way better than the audio on there, but you'll have to let me know how the video is. So again, in the comment section below, let me know how the video is from this webcam. I don't think I've had too many issues with it. It's fairly decent for what I'm doing. And once I am able to afford a new camera, I'll probably work my way into the Logitech, either the C920, or if I can scrounge up enough money, I might even get the Logitech Brio, because those two are pretty much the industry standard right now. It's just, again, with the pandemic, these things are in such high demand, and the amount of money that people are requesting for the webcams and even these knockoffs is insane. But I really wanted to be part of my stream. I wanted to engage with my viewers. I wanted to know, or I wanted them to know who I am and see me and stuff like that, just because I really want to connect with the viewers, the fans, and that kind of stuff. Eventually, once I get some, just let me know in the comment section down below there what you guys think of the video. So now that I've kind of told you everything for pricing and for the PC itself here, I just wanted to go over some of the pricing as a whole. So the housing part, the entire thing cost 299 bucks. The monitors are HP 24-inch IPS LED. They're 60 hertz, 6 milliseconds. They're a little, well, the 6 isn't bad. The 6 milliseconds isn't bad. I probably would have liked that number a little bit lower, maybe like 4 milliseconds. But again, being a budget build, they're from Costco, guys. They were 289 bucks for 2 monitors, dual monitors. Also a tip, if you're gonna start gaming and streaming and stuff, 2 monitors. Go with 2 monitors. Totally recommend it. It's been such a lifesaver being able to manage a game on one screen and Streamlabs on the other. I also have a tablet going sometimes, just for the purpose of being able to see my own stream, make sure the viewers can see what I want them to see and adjust accordingly. But they're 1920 by 1080s. I'm probably gonna look at, in the next few months or whatever, hopefully to upgrade the monitors to maybe not ultra wides, but higher resolution, maybe a 144 hertz, so that I can get some quicker response times out of some of the faster paced games and stuff like that. But for right now, everything that I have told you guys works totally fine. Again, it's all what your budget is. This was my budget. I consider it a budget just with today's day and age of where technology's at and how advanced streaming has become, and even the games and stuff like that, just how advanced they've really become. It's starting to increase, so if you guys wanted to get into it now's the time before everything starts to rise again. Talking about prices as a whole, the housing and the monitors themselves, so kind of like I don't know what you want to call it, but the housing section of my PC, both of them, they were 590 bucks before tax. The hardware that's in the PC, the CPU, all that kind of stuff, that came out to 1,235 bucks. And then my accessories, Those all came out to $170 before taxes. So just before taxes, it was just under $2,000 for the entire build. In US dollars, it's just under $1,500. So I think for $1,500 you can build a really wicked PC. You know, if you're just starting out, don't worry about getting everything so high end. You don't need it high end. You know, sure, you want a clear picture, you want a clear broadcast, you want clear video, clear audio, all that kind of stuff, but it'll come. And you guys just have to remember that. And I think that's the biggest learning curve that I've had to go through, is that not everything can happen at once, unless, you know, we'd all love to win the lottery, but you can't. So start out with what you're able to spend, work with it, save up, upgrade here and there, and, you know, in no time you'll have a really good PC that's capable of streaming and capable of playing games, and you know, you'll really enjoy it. Again, if you guys want to get into it now, probably now's the time. Alright guys, so like I said, here's my setup. I apologize for the poor lighting. My studio is in my basement. Yeah, lighting is not the greatest. That's also something you guys are going to get into, streaming or gaming. That is something you guys want to make sure you emphasize on. You really want to make sure you have good lighting, especially if you're using a green screen or something. So anyways, like I said, here's the case. This is the Cooler Master, one of the fans on the back there that comes with the bundle, and my AMD processor facing outwards. Underneath that is my Gigabyte GPU, and up there I got the RAM, and of course the motherboard on the back side. And here I have my two monitors. Don't mind my puppy on the first monitor there, but these are the two monitors. Like I said, they're the 24-inch IPS 60 hertz 6 millisecond LED monitors from Costco. So there you have it. That's the setup. I just wanted to say, you know, some of the multitasking functions that I do, such as the streaming and the gaming and that kind of stuff. It's all flawless. I never have problems with lag. I never have problems switching programs. I don't have crashing problems. There's no issues with anything that I'm running in this guy. So that's why I recommend building this or something similar to this, just to start out. You know, again, you can fluctuate some of the pricing. Not everyone might need the Ryzen 7. You could probably get away with the Ryzen 5. You might not need a 1660 Super GPU. You could probably get away with, you know, a little bit older, like a 1060 or something like that. It all comes down to what you guys are able to spend. This is what I was able to spend. This is my setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys write down in the comment section below again there. Again, let me know about the video. Let me know about the audio. Let me know what you guys have for PC builds. Let me know what you guys think of my PC build. I think that'll end our, I guess what you want to call it, is a welcome video to Havoc Gaming. Again, I'm Tyler. Be sure to check me out on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming Tuesdays around 7 p.m. Central Standard. And I've also got a Discord, so be sure to check me out on Discord. So until then, guys, take it easy. Don't forget to wreck some havoc and keep on gaming.